Hey, week two, what is ecology? Let's go ahead and just jump into this quick recording about what is this whole topic we are discussing that goes along with this ecology project that we've created. You can see that we've got a slide up on the screen there, and you can see that it says that we are doing a whole big deal. I'm gonna go ahead and present that out for you so you can see it in big mode. Oh, yeah, big mode. There we go. We can see everything now, and that's going to be great. You'll get a good chance to see all that. And we can read through those, and you can always pause it if you need to. And I don't like to read things when we're in class, so I'm not going to read them to you right here when they're live. Pause if you need to. Let's go ahead and, oh, too fast. Oh, that's way too fast. Okay. So, boom, let's go like that. And now that's real slow. Didn't like when I did that. So let's do it like that. There we go. All right. So studying our living planet. And again, I'm not going to read that, but those are some of the three ideas that we have. The only words that I look on here that might be confusing for you, you might not have heard before, is the biosphere. And that's the area where all living things on the planet can and do exist. So that's probably the new vocabulary term that comes off of this particular 3-point slide there for you to work from. Moving on here, and I know you've lost number five off of this. There's a fifth one, and I'll scroll down and show it to you in a moment. But when we look at different ways in which we organize the ecosystems, we can look at each of these populations, communities, ecosystems, and individuals and where they fit within each of those levels or criterion of that. So where an individual organism fits and how it becomes a population and how that population interacts with in the community, and all of it together is going to put you in the ecosystem. And if I scroll down with the window here, you'll see that a group of ecosystems that have similar climates are called biomes. So, and you probably learned a little bit about biomes way back in that middle school time: savanna, grasslands, tropical rainforests. Maybe you did like saltwater marshes, or you did the taiga or the tundra. And we can have a little discussion in the office hours about how cool that project was. Yeah. So let me go ahead and advance there. You can pause that. This is what it would look like if we did it as a graphic where the entire biosphere is the whole planet, working our way from bigger to smaller, the biomes, the ecosystems, communities, populations, and then we have one individual. And obviously we're talking about a Western mountainscape here. So we've got everything going back from elk into owls and beavers and bears and, oh my, beavers and bears, oh my. All right. The title of this slide here, and let me scroll up. I really wish that window was just a wee bit bigger. Just a wee bit. The biotic and abiotic factors. So anytime you put the letter A in front of a biological, biology term or a science term, it means without or not. So if it's biotic, it's going to be living. If it's abiotic, it is non-living. Don't say dead. It's not dead. It's non-living items. So, and you have a couple of examples that are in there. I want to add in there abiotic factors: temperature, pH, salinity, oxygen concentration. Those are all abiotic factors within an ecosystem. Whereas the biotic factors, those are super easy. It's everything that exists that is living within that ecosystem. If we look here, biotic and abiotic, and I'm going to click through this pretty quickly because I think this is pretty straightforward, where we have that split screen image there. So in terms of methodologies, we're going to use some observation, some modeling, and some experimentation to actually get the methods of research that you get when you're doing ecology. That's going to get us to those ideas of hypothesis, kind of just a little review of the scientific methodology there too. And so, but this brings into the idea of modeling. We have to be able to extend our thinking beyond our immediate observation. So how do we model what that ecosystem is doing over the course of generations of biotic factors, or over the course of like a geological time scale, which none of us, you, me, or any of us, are going to see because it's such a large scale of time. So modeling helps us to kind of give those environmental methodologies an exploration. So we also get in here in terms of some the energy producers, consumers, and producers and consumers and decomposers. And this kind of takes us into it. I'm getting at 5 minutes here. I'm going to go like maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes more, just kind of keep it real intense and then move on. You probably know what a primary producer is, but if you don't, then go ahead and define that and keep that for your own notes. And then how consumers obtain energy and nutrients. And that's one of the things that we'll try to discuss. I don't know if I'll get all of that done in this recording. We may have to come back and revisit, but that's fine. Primary producers, and then here you go. You can pause this at the screen if you need to. The primary producers, those are the ones that are going to create that energy at that bottom level of the ecosystem. And if I scroll the viewing screen down, still looking at primary producers, you can pick up numbers 3 and 4 there at the bottom, and feel free again to pause this. Oh, look, I'm frozen. Here, look, I can make a really funny frozen face, and then you can like, and then if you pause it there, you can read it and take your notes, and then be like, oh, I get it there too. It's fun. Okay, that's just silly. All right. Gotta have a little bit of fun when you're making videos, and there are no students here to laugh at you. Photosynthesis and chemosynthesis, these are reviews. We've already done this. You know all about photosynthesis and chemosynthesis, and if you don't, go ahead and review it, because if the final exam ends up coming in there, I'm definitely bringing that back. So if you want to try to balance that equation, and if we were live in class right now, I'd be asking you, what is the balance equation of photosynthesis? And you'd go, yeah, frozen again. Not really. All right. This one says consumers, and let me drag that up so you can see it again. Oh, nope, that's how we go backwards. So let me, there we go. Consumers, and we can drag that up. That's the consumer slide. And they're organisms that are going to be unable to make their own food, so they have to be heterotrophs. This should be somewhat familiar. We've had discussions like this through the course of our time. All right, I've hit 7 minutes. Let me just go grab the types of consumers, and I will stop it at that point. So types of consumers here. How many different types of, there are many different types of heterotrophs. That's a bullet point 1. I hate those bullet points. Sorry about that. It's an old school kind of presentation. And then we have our herbivores, carnivores, omnivores, detritivores, and decomposers. And then I'm going to scroll this down. Again, you can back up at any time. And then you can see the scavengers as well. And I'm going to leave it right there with those 6 types of consumers. There are 7 bullet points, but there's actually 6 types of consumers: herbivores, carnivores, omnivores, detritivores, and decomposers and scavengers. And let's pause it right there because I think it's a good spot. I like 7 minutes as a video. Bada bing, bada boom. More to come.